All right, let's go ahead. Let's tap in. Take these headphones off. I have some tunes playing. We are entering Leo, okay? This is legendary, okay? When you put Venus, a sign who really appreciates the artist, a sign who really appreciates creativity, who appreciates the lavish things in a relationship, all right? When you put Venus here, in Leo, a fiery energy, but which is a sun energy, right? A solar energy. But after it comes out of a watery Venus, like Cancer, who is like really valuing the home, really valuing family. Leo is like, how do you value your family? How do you value the things that brings you warmth? But by exploring at least the unconscious depth. Now, because I say unconscious death because Cancer is a sign of the unconscious, Venus and Cancer that we just left out of. So that sign of the unconscious memories, ancestral DNA, some of the roots, things that are beneath the surface. But Leo, Venus now entering Leo, it's like, hey, look, these are the things that are above the surface. These are the things that now that you have explored some of your depth, you will now start to face issues that are more public in how you will begin to interact as your most unique character, but as yourself. What's up, Tiffany? How you doing? You understand what I'm saying? So thank you all for those likes and those thumbs up. I'm gonna get ready to dive into the Leo entering, Venus entering Leo message while Mercury is still here in Virgo. So there's a couple important things that we really, that we really wanna discuss today, all right? And really what this comes down to is dark transmutation, all right? Dark transmutation. So how do you transmute dark energy? And Leo is a sign that is often mistaken for something that is not. Leo is not a sign of all light. Leo is the sun, yes, but the sun is surrounded and even shrouded in entire darkness. Understand, look up in space, right? Even though we have light down here, we see a nice bright sky here on Earth reflected. When you go closer to the sun, you recognize the sun is in complete and absolute darkness. So Leo actually transmutes dark energy. It transmutes hate. So it transmutes literally dark energy, okay? And it turns it inwards, which is why Leo can never survive when it's accepting external praise. It will always turn dramatic, overly aggressive. It will experience rage, all right? But most of that is because of the misunderstandings of where does it gain its energy source from. Leo gains an energy source from itself. So I have pulled some cards from my elemental oracle deck, which I did 4 cards, all right? And it's gonna lead me to one of these animals at the end. I do wanna express what that's gonna mean to you, so definitely stay tuned. Thank you for the thumbs up and the likes. I did drop my email list, so check that out. I'm gonna get more and more active on there. I plan to do at least 1 email a week to just give out more free things, more game for people that are more invested, not somebody who may be more non-committal, which is some part of Leo energy. It's about non-committal energy. While Venus is in Leo, you're gonna understand that you'll be presented with more non-committal friendships. You'll start recognizing, you'll shine light on friendships that really are not supporting your more unique character roles, or not supporting the transformation that you've undergone. Right now, the sun is at 20 degrees of Leo right now. So 20 degrees is the degree of Scorpio. Scorpio and Leo have a very inverse relationship. They're both fixed signs. They don't really like each other all the way, in all sincerity, because Leo does have a non-committal element to it, and Scorpio is like, I want deep or nothing at all. So they do kind of butt heads, but there's something very unique as an inverse relationship between the two. And that is that Scorpio transmutes the light and Leo transmutes the dark. Now, what we like to often believe, especially I think if we don't dive deeper into astrology and just make our own opinions, we would like to believe that Scorpio transmutes the dark. Everybody thinks Scorpio is a sign of darkness. It's not true. It's not true. And everybody likes to think that Leo transmutes the light. It's not true. The light is only the external expression of what Leo had to do on the internal. And for Scorpio on the opposite side, which is important because the South Node is in Scorpio, so this is important. Scorpio actually is in the darkest of places where it finds the gem. Like when you go into a cave or a mountain, you got to go deep to get the diamond. So yes, you're in that deepness, but that diamond, that bright shiny thing, is what Scorpio is digging so deep for. Versus the opposite of Leo, dark transmutation, the sun itself, which is Leo, is completely enshrouded by space, black holes, right? There's so many threats out in outer space, right? Rocks, asteroids will always go towards the sun, right? But no one ever heard of the sun blowing up yet, at least, by an asteroid coming. That asteroid will melt before you get there. So what am I saying? You will have enemies that will present themselves, especially while now the moon is in Pisces. The moon in Pisces, the Pisces is the 12th house, all right? 1 second. Pisces is the 12th house. So what does that mean when Pisces is the 12th house? I gotta get my little thing. 12th house is the house of hidden enemies. So while the Leo sun is there, you're gonna start to recognize who are these hidden enemies, especially after we went through, and it's gonna take a couple more days, to be honest, to recognize after this Aquarius full moon, because there's still a lot of tense energy, especially if you have a tremendous amount of fixed signs. Not everybody went through this transit the same. And this last full moon, some people, this full moon was much tougher for them. And while we're in Leo season now, Venus entering Leo, we must value the support that people more generously just give without looking for anything in return. These are the people you really must make sure you support, because Venus entering Leo, it does not value, Venus is our values. It does not value the people who did not support them in their toughest and their roughest moments. If you took this moment to go ahead and switch up when people had their mother die, or, you know, people are going through their dark night of the soul, people going through their spiritual awakening, if you abandoned your friends during this time, you're not going to survive, and you're not going to do very well while Venus is in Leo. Now, on the plus side, if you supported and were magnanimous and very generous and even charitable with the friendships that you already have, and you actually are catering to those friendships, especially the ones who more uniquely present a warmth, a feeling of warmth in your darkest hour and your darkest moments. These are the people. Venus and Leo is like, look, I need to actually be touched while it's in Venus. I want to be touched. I want you to tell me that you love me. I want you to, especially in relationships, right? What's up, Jasmine? What's up, fam? I want you to tell me you love me. I want you to slap my ass, okay? Just because I want you to just, and be loud and proud about it. I want you to, right in public. I want you to show your love for me. I want you to show your warmth. And this is a lot of Venus and Leo. Now, what makes this super duper important is we are working towards, later in the month, August 27th, the Virgo new moon. So what am I saying? This is important because, and I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to briefly show you this, all right? We're working our way to the Virgo new moon. Why is this important? Virgo is a very, in its low level energy, petty. I really believe it's the pettiest energy, because it's actually wise enough and it's old. It's more like 27 years old in human years, right? I do thank you for those likes and those thumbs ups. You rock. And I want to say, take a vote in the chat so I can help understand what are people going through. All right, as you take that vote in the chat about, do you transmute hate into love? All right, that's the highest vote right now. Do you eat BS for breakfast? I'm not going to lie to you. I do eat BS for breakfast. It's probably what part of my mind went through. Or do you feel like you're completely blessed and unbothered? I do feel blessed and unbothered at the same time. And I do transmute hate into love. So that's why these three answers are existing. But take a moment to vote for yourself. I see 5 people voted so far. Thank you for that thumbs up. All right. I want to get into, I pulled 4 cards out of my elemental oracle deck, and this is going to be super duper important. All right, I talked about what is the issue that we're facing when it comes to dark transmutation, and I'm going to explain and express more, because there are a tremendous amount of delusions that will happen from today until tomorrow when I recorded this message. All right, because the moon is entering Pisces. But before that does happen, what happens now? Right now, as I make this message, Aquarius moon is at 29 degrees. This is karmic, emotional closings that by you talking or being involved in a community or a group, I keep telling people this, get involved with a community or a group. If you do not have that support system right now, if you're not involved in some type of network, you're gonna suffer unnecessarily, okay? And at 29 degrees, this is the degree of karma, right? This is the degree of the energetic degree where something climactic and explosive even will happen. So if you take the time to make sure you indulge with these groups and these familiar even environments that support what is unique about you, you will win. Now, before I move any closer, I am going to start switching up some things on my channel. I'm going to soon be implementing channel memberships. And on top of it, I'm going to be doing some personal reads with people even on lives, which is dope and great. 1010, this is me hopping out of my creative hell, my creative prison. But what I also want to say is for those of you that do ever do super chats, I want to let you know more and more, at least briefly in the beginning and the end of the videos, of what those do and what they mean for me. Anybody that does donate for super chat, these are the things they go to. It's Zoom to run off-grid, okay, things that I do. I run a lot of, at least I try to do at least once a month, a group thing for free for people, but Zoom still cost me, right? The canvas to make these flyers, the ones that you even want to click, all right? These things cost me, all right? To run Canva Pro. For my foreign travel, I've discovered more and more, and I know for a while that I can't live on U.S. soil. I must live out of the States. If I'm on U.S. soil for too long, I get sick. I mean physically, I mean mentally, I mean emotionally. So me living out and abroad overseas, me buying things like plants that help me energetically stay aligned. I need to be around nature, all right? But I still like to be in cities, so I have to surround myself with plant life, all right? These are some of the things in general that when you do donate to super chats, this is a lot of Leo type energy, valuing the friendships that are generous and support you. That doesn't mean you must donate, right? Your time and your energy, even on here, it counts, right? Your likes, your thumbs up is also energetic exchange. It counts. The social currency that we share when it comes to you and joining in on these Eventbrite that I do, when I have 20, 30 people all going through a relief of suffering in some facet while using astrology as a form of therapy, it counts. So it's not about a monetary. Understand that Leo energy and dark transmutation, part of that is recognizing that just because somebody does not support you in the way you want or the way you feel like you need to be supported does not mean that their support is not there. We must start to understand that astrology transits affect each and every person in a very different way. An Aquarius full moon does not affect me as much as my partner who has like 4 or 5 more Aquarius placements. You understand what I'm saying? I got 1 in Saturn. So when that moon went conjunct with Saturn, I got 1 thing to really work and deal with, versus somebody who has 3 to 4 placements in Saturn or Aquarius specifically in that full moon. That person's going to have a lot more illumination, which means they may need a lot more downtime. So recognize that there's nothing necessarily ever good or bad in astrology. It's interpreted and it's working for all 8 billion plus people at the same time. So when it comes to dark transmutation and the illusions that we're facing, especially around our friendships or even our romantic partners, is that when somebody else is going through something that may even seem petty to you or to me, it may just be what they need to do to get through, and it's not to be taken personally. This is something where you're going to start really feeling in Leo season while we're still here, Venus and Leo, you're going to start wanting to take things much more personally. Hey Tammy, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad you got your son back. That is amazing. Everybody, shout out to Tammy. Okay, she did lose her son. Give her some love in the chat. She lost her son X amount of years ago for X, Y, and Z reasons, and I just was talking to her via WhatsApp maybe a month ago, and she recently got her son back after not having her own son. Okay, she can't even eat dinner with her own son for years on years on years. That's crappy. So please go ahead and use the community vibes right now and just send some hearts. You ain't got to say nothing personal, more personal than that. Just send some hearts and say, you know, anything of encouragement for her and the battle that she had to go through as a mother to get her own son returned to her, who is well underage. Okay, so just drop some hearts. I would appreciate that for Tammy. This is, thank you, Tiffany. This is what I'm talking about when it's about Leo energy and being generous. Right there, Tiffany dropping hearts for Tammy for a reason, a purpose, something that it cost her nothing, right? She's already in the chat. It cost her nothing to just drop a heart emoji. But energetically, whether Tammy is still here or not, Tammy will begin to receive that. And she's somebody within the community, at least this personal community. All right. Let me, so I want to say thank y'all for those hearts. Let me talk about the issue, because I'm going to get a little bit deeper into this dark transmutation, but here's the true issue that we're facing post Aquarius full moon. Okay, here's the true issue. I'm so sorry I have two sons, twins, one died. I feel your, wow, absolutely. Thank you, Shirley. I've never seen you, Shirley, ever comment before, and here's the power of just being generous and being mindful of your community, of your friends, okay? There are new people that are going to be supporting you, who old people that used to support you, they may start to pull you down. This was the moon in Aquarius going opposite of Saturn. Check those boundaries. Check who's no longer supporting you. And new people like Shirley, so thank you for commenting and showing that love out there. And bless up to you as well for exactly what happened with one of the twins dying. That's not an easy, simple matter. But bless up to you. Welcome to the community. I want to say to you some love too. All right. So here's the true issue that we're facing after post full moon in Aquarius. And the first card that I got was depth. Now look at this. Look at the external on top. You see the beautiful background. You see the castle. Okay. You see all this beautiful landscape. All right. But underneath you see this woman. And you didn't recognize the bottom. To me is Venus in Cancer, what we just fell out of, where now you get to shine on the top with the Venus in Leo, right? But we don't get this top shine, Venus in Leo. The true issue is we don't get this top shine without the depth that this woman on the bottom had to go through. She had to dive deep into her unconscious mind. She had to dive deep into her family and ancestral DNAs and ancestral trauma. She dived deep. And the deeper you dove, the more depth you had, the better you were able to essentially go through the real healing that was involved so that you could show up like Venus and Leo on the public stage. This card says on the short description, what's up, Starlander? All right, gang, gang to you. Starlander, side note, we do start the Abundant Reality on Sunday. So we do want to see you there. I know you were talking to us about it. So I completely, it slipped my mind, but Abundant Reality, reach out to Eileen, all right? Thank y'all for the hearts and the love for the people in the chat. Thank y'all for those thumbs up as well, all right? So the depth, right? It says, do not take the shallow alternative. Do not. Dive deep. Do the research. Do not cut corners. You may not be seeing the whole picture. So take your time with a decision. All right. So in the chat, let's bring some awareness and some light to what this psychological transformation is that we're going through as a collective. Like I said, the sun is currently at 20 degrees of Leo. So we are bringing light. We are bringing warmth. We are bringing joy. We are bringing play to something that was once psychologically turbulent, quite frankly, emotionally turbulent. 20 degrees is the degree of Scorpio, an evolved degree of Scorpio. So how are we dealing with the evolution of what was once traumatic? All right. So if I just look at it, I see some people have died in the chat. Okay, that's traumatic. Tammy had lost her son. Okay, that's traumatic. Now, what has the psychological transformation shown you as you dive deeper into this entire scenario? All right. But with that being said, also consider and take the time, maybe even to type this in the chat. What is a decision that you're struggling with? And maybe the community right now, hopefully, can help you with the community, people in the chats, to help you work through a decision that you might need to take your time doing. You might be willing and ready to make decisions. I had a woman, for example, and I told her maybe like 3-4 days ago, I'm gonna leave her name out, but she wants to work with me one-on-one for a grip for like the next 6 months. And I told her, look, 3 days from now, there's an Aquarius full moon. I said, this is great. We've been talking about this for about a month now. You already know you want to do it. We're going to be beginning in a month from now. But I said, do not make the decision right now, right? I literally said, don't make the decision right now. There's an Aquarius full moon. That's not a time to make decisions. So take your time with that decision. That's one example of a woman that wants to work with me one-on-one, right? You feel me? Like, we're working together for 6 months. I told her this is not a light thing, okay? When you work with me one-on-one, we go deep as hell. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the weak of heart. It's just not. I don't even ever want it to be. I don't want somebody to pull up on the quick, on the fly, just because they're gonna pay. That's just stupid to me, quite frankly. So I told her, take the time with the decision. And I said, look, extend that. There's no rush, right? Like, I'm not going to die tonight. And if I am, then it doesn't matter anyways, right? So profunde in Latin, this means deep. Don't take the shallow. So the true issue we're facing right now after this Aquarius full moon in this Leo season while Venus is in Leo is taking our time with the decision, not going shallow, not going deep. Now, the second question out of the 4, all right, was, if you give me a moment, how can you solve this decision that you have to take time with intellect or communication? Now, my question originally was, what do we need to know? What's the true issue that's going on post Aquarius full moon? And now the question on number 2, we just gave you the true issue. Take the time to go deep on a decision, right? What's up, Jamie? How you doing? I'm gonna read you in a second. Now, card 2 says, how can you solve it with intellect or via communication? Now, the second card that I got was hearth. It actually means comfort, or means home. Look at that happy baby, okay? Look at the joy that that baby, is the baby in, I don't know, the baby look a little sarcastic actually. But you see the pet, you see the comfort that the pet is providing either way, right? And baby doesn't actually look as happy as I thought it did, to be honest, but it's in a happy home environment, it's in a safe environment. So this card, the actual, how we deal with this in intellect is to take some time out to rest and regenerate. This is Mars in Taurus that just went sextiled, all right, with Pisces at 24 degrees, 24 degrees, a degree of surrender, sacrifice, all right? Isolation, suffering, karma coming to a close, karma coming to an end, where we need to take some time to rest, all right? I've been resting, honestly, for like a month now, and I had to recognize this is what I'm talking about briefly. All right, this is what's going on, ready? The rest, I had to recognize this for myself, because it bothered me how much I've been needing to rest for like 2 months. It's like, yo, come on, bro. Like, I miss that fire, right? I see somebody email me. I don't know who you are. I'll read it soon. Thank you. Whatever you said. I don't know what you said yet. I don't even know what I'm saying. Thank you. When Mars was in Aries, when the moon was in Aries, I think this is back like April 1st, on some real talk, I have a triple Aries. The battles that I've been going through on the creative front, and essentially people trying to put themselves in my space, in my circle, without the right and the pure intentions, there was tremendous battles, right? Back in April, I was dealing with fighting witches who using black magic, hexing themselves, all right? Dealing with freaking other people's dragons, using them in ways that like should not even be possible, against in an opposition way, all right? Deceit while Gemini was in Venus in that time frame, trickery, foolery, okay? That trickster Gemini type energy through communication and media outlets, trying to basically trick and fool me out of my own creative projects, right? Tricking and fooling people that are involved that have no idea what's going on, and I'm like fighting in the background, right? Like, I can't even tell you, like, let's just sit there and say for the moment, there was a tremendous amount of disgusting hate coming my way. And my challenge was to turn that hate into love. That was the challenge. And this is Leo energy, transmuting that dark energy. Now, because we're going Jupiter retrograde in Aries, a lot of that Aries energy is going back. So people that were causing hexes on you, people that was throwing hate or shade at you, people that was trying to destroy your career or take you down and out, all these people in this retrograde, they're having to deal with what that war they brought upon you or brought upon me. They're dealing with the consequences, Understand what I'm saying? But you don't necessarily have to. This is something I had to recognize, and this happened again to me a year ago from now, and I did not deal with it in the best possible way. I dealt with it in a way where I began to digest some of the petty and turn around and be petty, and I was out of pocket, and that's where I got. That's where I got. Now this year, things I had to switch up, and I was like, P, you can't respond with petty versus petty. Must rise above that. Must realize and remember that you are a God. Gods do not entertain themselves with the pettiness of humans, in all sincerity. And I try to say this in no disrespect, but I had to return the power to myself, restore the power to myself, recognizing that opposition is healthy. Okay, what I'm saying? A nemesis is required. If you're gonna be a hero, you're hero of your own story, not somebody else's, the hero of your own story. If you went through the depth and the healing, you are now officially taking the time to indulge and dive in with intelligence what this comfort can provide. Because what I had to recognize is a part of, whoa, cars just popped out. What I had to realize is a part of dark transmutation of all the hate, of all the lies, of all the deceit, of all the delusions, even within my own mind, my own delusions that want to sit there and trick and fool me, to step back into that God light. You know what I'm saying? To step back into what is divine about me, myself, what's divine with just the divine, which is no longer even about a self, right? The self completely evaporates when you attach to more of what your soul's purpose is here to do. And so as I got more back in alignment with that, I could only really do that, in all sincerity, with the comfort of the home, the relax, the retreat, okay? Using this Taurus energy wisely, in all sincerity. And this is how you are basically making the more intelligent decisions, all right? By stepping back and recognize it's time to rest and rejuvenate. Know what makes you comfortable. Keep the home fires burning, okay? You know what I'm saying? What's your home environment looking like? How can you make your home a more peaceful place, all right? Create a peaceful and beautiful home life. For me, that was buying a plant. This was a part of buying a plant, all right? Honestly, I had to buy some plants. I just made myself a crystal in my home last night. It's my first crystal bracelet that I made that never popped off my arm in the same exact moment. And I made this one as well, the amethysta one. And it's like, this is what I've been doing in my home. This is a creative talent, okay? This is a part of also my own personal healing. I took the time to research and do the questions, all right? Because I think the ones prior said research. Nourishing the mind, body, and spirit is important at this time. Focus on the inner life. Look, okay. This is the inner life. This is the inner life. So Venus in Cancer, when a transit comes through, now that Venus is actually in Leo, now that Venus entered Leo, Venus in Cancer is complete, sure. But it doesn't mean that what you learned during Venus in Cancer about healing, about nurturing yourself, it doesn't mean that you just throw it out the window. It's been now a gift to yourself to know what it takes to rejuvenate, heal, and make your own home comfortable. It's a gift to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you don't just forget about it. You don't forget what it did for you. And what it did for me was help me to rejuvenate from these battles back in Aries season. So I'm looking right now, Jupiter's in retrograde in Aries. We're going to go back to about 8 degrees in Aries. So we're going to go back eventually into Jupiter in Pisces, but what's happening at the same time is Chiron is in Aries and is making aspects to the Leo energy where we are going through these identity wounds, these personality wounds, where people try to play your character, people try to talk you out of your more instinctual responses and get you to overthink what was happening. And so if you really engage and you begin to overthink, who am I? You begin to let people play you out of your blessings, out of being unbothered, then essentially you're not really doing well with dark transmutation. You're not transmuting dark energy that's being projected onto you. You're not recognizing that people are trying to play you out of your position. And the way you recognize that is through intelligence, and the intelligence is going to come through naturally if you take the comfort, you take the home, all right? So then I had asked the third card out of this energy, right? And I got so much that I feel like I want to say today, so bear with me, all right? This is super important to me, all right? The way the aspects are hitting my chart, I have 29 degrees Mars in Aquarius. this year. So right now the moon at 29 degrees. This is emotionally important for me to support the people, to go ahead, ninth house, teach what is this cosmic download that I've been doing. I've been taking a lot more time to meditate, meditating multiple times a day now, doing breath work multiple times a day now, sticking heavier on my mantras, okay, speaking heavier on time in my home and just a little bit more away from the internet and making myself products, all right, that actually support and aid me learning through this Jupiter retrograde. Well, what are the things that I could have done to not get so involved in the drama? Because Leo is creative drama when it doesn't receive the attention. So now Jupiter retrograde is checking in. Where were you craving attention from others where you weren't giving that same attention to yourself? And I will check the comments, so give me some patience on that. I really have to get this out, all right? Now, the third question about what we need to know about the true issue after the full moon. For anybody that's new, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you, all right? The third question is, what emotions can you bring to this or release, all right? And I got this growth card. And what emotions, I'm gonna repeat that. What emotions can you bring to this issue, this true issue that you've learned how to solve through intellect or communication to actually go through the release? And what this is asking of us, all right, is to grow. It's asking us to grow, okay? It literally says that magic is in everyday things. You can make something from nothing blossom. It's time. From small things, big things might grow. Begin it. Now in Norse mythology, this word is vaksa, which means grow. So it's asking you to grow. It's asking you to actually begin. It's asking you to recognize that gratitude right now on a daily, and I said this recently, is super important while Mercury, the mind, is in Virgo. Okay, as we get closer to the Virgo new moon, make sure you implement gratitude. Because when I said dark mutation in this video, this is one of my early Aries alert warnings for people. Okay, so if you're on this, you're watching this right now, I want you to understand what I'm saying to you right now is actually about the Aries within me for the community. Right now my Aries is in the 11th house, so I must give the early warnings to the friends that are connected in my network, to the friends that are connected through astrology, to the friends that are connected in these groups that I run, okay, whether that's the abundant reality or not. So among other things, my point about this is from March, late March, when the spring equinox hit, which is about March 21st, up until Virgo season, all of the signs are in the light. Now we're in Leo season right now. Virgo season is coming up in like a couple weeks. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? It's still light. But Virgo is where, when we feel underappreciated, AKA when we're not appreciating our own effort enough and setting up boundaries so that we have the time and the space to take care and nurture our body, to take care and step away and get comfortable in the home, to do our dailies, to do our mantras, to do our meditation, to do our breath work, all right, to exercise. Right now, I recognize today was one of the prime days. A lot of people are not exercising. This intellect came into me from a more cosmic feminine source. It was like, yo, Pete, tell people to get their ass working out, because right now your mind will go through some mental turmoil. You will face, in a sense, mental disease. As I see a spider down on the ground, all right, which is the creator of prosperity, but it was Brown saying that in order to create prosperity, you must ground right now. And it's a jumping spider, actually. You ever seen those jumping spiders? So it just jumped. That means that in order for you to take this leap, in order for you to begin, you must ground every day. There is a magic in every day. Understand what I'm saying? So from small things, big things might grow. So start with a small ritual. Pick one ritual that you're going to commit to on the daily right now, Virgo, on the daily ritual, especially something that takes care either of your mental health but the thing is, while we're in Leo season, Venus and Leo, it's like valuing the competition of even your own body, okay? So internally work on your physical self so that you externally can shine. So that you externally can shine and have this castle. The castle was what? The kingdom of who? Leo. But underneath and right prior to Leo is this water, this depth, this lake of how deep did you go when you're healing, all right? The fourth card that I got in this elemental deck, as I show you, is actually companionship. So you see all the animals that are involved here is actually saying that we all have a superpower. Now, this is the fourth question that I have for this was actually about how do you move on flowfully from the issue that we're facing. From the issue we're facing, how you move flowfully is to recognize we all have a superpower. Find yours and exercise it. Exercise is, again, it's here. Fire energy is in the sky. You cannot deal with the heat that festers from Leo type energy without physically exerting that energy. Leo is a fixed energy. You will get sick if you do not take care of your physical body. The weak way, in my personal opinion, to deal with this energy is to commit yourself in non-committal sexual interactions, non-committal sexual relationships. Having one-night stands right now will poison you, okay? But it's one of the ways that we like to basically physically exercise, but you will get poisoned. I'm telling you this right now, you will get poisoned, especially the fact that Aries is in Jupiter retrograde. Aries is the tongue, which is the ability to charm people's pants off as one thing in sexual endeavors. And I said this recently. So non-committal sex with partners that are not actually supporting your unique self, but you're just using them in a way to actually avoid your creativity, avoid what is special about you, will get you in trouble right now. So be very mindful, all right? Take time out to share your gifts. Leo, the natural world calls you. Mercury in Virgo. The natural world is Virgo. Okay, this is reality. Virgo season is coming. After Venus in Leo, guess what happens? Virgo will be in Leo. This is a petty time. The Virgo moon is a part of this message that I'm giving you out for it. This is a time when you want to start considering prior what will be the manifestations to your body, how you take care of it, to your routines, how you take care of it, which leads to whether you are mentally sane or you lose your mind. Experience having an animal as a companion. But if you cannot, then donate. Make your property animal friendly or help animal causes. All right, so these are some things you can do. What's up, Murphy? Shirley, good to see you commenting. All right, so here's an example, right? I have an animal on this property here, but honestly, I don't like him. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. But what I did do instead, because there's only the one animal on the property, is to recognize the rooster that screams in the background. Boom, thank you, you heard it. With the rooster is reminding me of the companionship I have. Roosters back in ancient African culture, Africans used to pray that the sun would kind of go away because they were just too hot. They were dehydrated, they were thirsty, right? And so the night came and the night took over in African culture where the sun didn't come back up. And now they realized that everybody was dying. Why? Because we can't survive without the sun. We don't get enough vitamin D. We have no energy throughout the day, okay? It's always dark. You can't see anything, all right? Back in ancient African culture, there was no lights, no street light. So the rooster was eventually who came and saved the African people, and they used to pray in ancient Africa. They prayed to the rooster, the one you hear in the background right now, to, boom, as a masculine presence. The rooster, the cock, all right, is one of the animals right now that is acting as, at least for me, quite frankly, you have to understand what it is for your own personal environment. But this companionship with the rooster is reminding me of my masculine energy. It wakes me in the morning. But the rooster, the Africans used to pray to it so that it can basically be the sacrifice for the sun to come back, for this energizing masculine focus, clarity, and direction to be given to them of what to do next, because they didn't know what to do with only the moon. Without the sun, they realized how life can become so crappy and nothing else can be nourished. Leo was a very warm and nourishing energy. Venus in Leo is, I dated a woman with a Venus in Leo, and honestly, it was one of my favorite things ever. I really loved it. The big issue, or the big thing that comes with it as well, is if you do not give the attention to an unevolved Leo, an unevolved Venus in Leo, if you don't give them the attention, they don't know how to give that warmth to themselves, how to do that self-love to themselves, then ultimately they will need to use you, and they will want you to play the role to give them the warmth, to give them the validation, to do it daily, to do it all the time. And this is when you're completely out of balance with Leo energy. The sun does not need anybody. You understand what I'm saying? The sun, we need the sun. We need the sun. The sun does not need us. Never forget that. Okay, so look at Leo in your chart and recognize that this is very important. Long story short, the sacrifice of the rooster, this companion, was to make sure that it cock-a-doodle-doos every morning on the sunrise. And that's why the rooster cock-a-doodle-doos, right? But it's representing, it's where the word cocky came from. So Leo can be a cocky energy. It can be a, yo, it's all about me energy. And it's important to recognize that there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being prideful in your creative and passionate projects. Can there be an overexertion of that? Absolutely. But does it make being prideful wrong? No. And this is where we must watch for who are the people who want you to play that role. Who are the people that want you to play that role? Who want you to play the role to just sit there and cater to them and touch them and love them and give them all your attention? Leo will suck up all that attention. The key is, while Venus is entering Leo, can you give that self-love to yourself? Because if you cannot, understand that the person loving you, they will one day not be a part of your life. And you do not want your entire validation to be based on something external. While the moon is in Pisces and it's going to eventually go conjunct with Neptune in Pisces, you will really be faced with an early intuitive insight and download on what this next 6 months will look like as we step back into darkness. Darkness. I'm talking, you will be alone. No one will support you. The people that are supporting you, they will need to be as well supporting and diving deep within themselves. Scorpio season, guess what? We're only getting closer and closer. Like Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo begins the descent into darkness. Libra, dark. Scorpio, in the dark. Sag, yes, it's a light coming out of the dark. Then you have Capricorn, you still get up to the mountain, but it's still a dark ass energy, melancholic Capricorn. Aquarius, the furthest thing from the sun, okay? Leo's the sun, the furthest thing away in space, it's dark. Pisces, complete and utter ethereal darkness. This is one of your early warnings. There will be a lot of deception coming up, I'm not gonna lie to you. And what that deception looks like is people playing you out of what makes you unique, creative, and essentially creatively responsible, passionately responsible to give your gift in the world. All right. The card that I got of the animal, other than the rooster that's actually cock-a-doodle-doo every day, or birds that talk to me, like right now they're talking to me, is the bear. Now this is an earth energy. You see it? All right. This is an earth energy. You see the sun. Okay. I can't make this up, yo. Intuition been on crazy point lately. I'm not kidding you, but it's because of Chiron and Aries. I've been having to go through my own wound heals of where did people play me out of being my Aries self. I have a triple stellium in Aries. Do you understand throughout my entire life how much hate that means gets projected onto me, but has nothing to do with me? The issue is one of my Arian degrees at 24, two of them at 24 degrees, that's Pisces. So it's like I used to attach to the emotional suffering of people so much that I played the role that these darker forces wanted me to play, and I did not properly transmute that dark energy. If I did, and now that I do, the difference and the magic is the divine feminine energy within me is like, look, I'm starting to really embrace that a lot of you are not my friends, and it's okay. A lot of you want me to be your emotional crutch, and that's okay too. But I don't have to fall and play into that delusion, because this is the thing that you're going to start recognizing. As you start honoring the unique identity within yourself, especially valuing it while Venus is in Leo, this what will begin to happen. Those people will begin to self-destruct. those people you will start to recognize in real time how they hex and curse themselves when they cast this black magic on you, when they do witchcraft against you, when they sit there and hate on you. You are now on the opposite side watching it in real time with a very clear eye, mind, third eye. Okay, you're watching their soul with your third eye now. When you step back and return to the divinity that is within you, which means you have to combine the masculine and the feminine. One and the other does not work. I have masculine and feminine within me. When I was only operating from the feminine, I couldn't do it. When I was only operating from the masculine, I couldn't do it. And I did do both individually and separate. I did do both individually, but when I started getting back into my true self, which is my masculine and my feminine, I got back to the divinity within me. I got back to the seraphim angel energy within me. I got back to all these different things. Starting to see from the mind's eye. Now you can't play me. And this is what Chiron and Aries is doing for the self. Now for my Aries out there, y'all getting hit the heaviest with this. In all sincerity, you're gonna see all the early signs way before. Until 2025, Aries, I gotta be honest, people are gonna keep hating on you. People are gonna keep just like playing you. And no one ever says that Aries is their favorite zodiac sign, but that's because Aries has been getting played, and Aries is a part of playing themselves. Aries energy, wherever Aries is even at in your chart, they're playing themselves. I was playing myself. But these Chiron wounds, while there's fire energy in the sky, it's very harmonious. While Aquarius is in the sky, it's very harmonious. It's reminding us with cosmic intelligence, cosmic knowledge, and a sheer brave and valuing the boldness of who and what I am, of who and what you are. Where Aries and Leo sits in your chart, this is what allows us to recognize that we are the light. There's only one piece of light that comes in 3 zodiac signs in all of astrology, and that is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. But Sag is still in the dark. Sag still has a very dark humor, okay? It's in the darker end of this. Aries and Leo are the true lights. Aries is a very young and immature light until it's not, until it becomes the emperor. But Leo is naturally within its light. It's naturally within its true light. Aries takes its time, where I think eventually Aries does have that power to, that's why it's exalted in the sun, but it has to get there, it has to work itself there, okay? So if you have earlier degrees in this, thank God I have later degrees in my Aries, because the young Aries energy, Lord, 3:33 p.m. where I'm at, create something. Chromatic ribbon, create something. Create something while there's Leo energy in the sky, while there's Venus, Leo measure. Create something. For me last night, like I said, I made this bracelet, all right? I also made this one here, okay? I went to the store and I actually brought this as an earring. I brought just the earring part to this. And I was gifted, this is Leo energy, all right, giving out gifts and love. I was gifted this selenite, and I attached this earring that I brought into the selenite. So create something. Recognize that this is where you're gonna find, through that creation, you're gonna become more and more inspired, all right? Everybody that's brand new on here, thank you for your thumbs up, thank you for the likes. I wanna give you a reminder as I get into the final message of the bear. Anybody that does drop super chats, anybody that does drop donations in the chat, I do wanna say that these things are things that goes to Canva Pro for me actually creating these flyers that you see that makes you potentially want to click. These are going to the Zooms where I'm running basically free groups on Zoom at least like once a month, where I'm helping people through their own collective suffering by involving them and getting people from Australia to connect with people in Bali, to connect with people in New York, to connect with people in Colombia, to connect with people here in Mexico where I'm at. So this is a part of it, all right? This is also going a little bit towards my foreign travel and being able to live abroad and teach and preach these messages, all right? Mind you, YouTube is my main thing, in all sincerity, right? YouTube is my main gig. It's the thing that I do out loud almost every day, unless I need to rest. So each and everything is supported. I am going to start doing card pull readings on my lives for people more individualistically. If you want a card pull, all right, say something while you're on this live with me now, and any donation you put, I'm gonna pull something specific to you. Today, I'm only operating, so you know, from my elemental oracle deck, as well as from my animal oracle deck, all right? These are the only two that I'm pulling from today. I'm not doing tarot today. I'm going to do this more and more consistently. Anybody that does donate, I will pull a specific card to and for you. So I do want to let that be known. For me, this is a part of my Aries 5th house expression, expanding what I do and how I use my creative gifts, how I use my intuition, how I use the clarity in my mind that I have through the breath work, through the meditation. These things come through like freaking water, especially as a life path 11. And I start really honoring that this is a part of what makes me unique. I am a life path 11. I am an INFP in the Myers and Briggs. Okay, I am a 5-1 in the human design. Okay, the fixer. All right, that was a Scorpio rising. So the last message I have with this bear is to remember that this is an earth energy, but it is the first earth energy in this deck. So the way this works, the earth energy, Tiffany, what's up, girl? All right, you're getting a pull. Is there a question on your mind? I want to say thank you for the donation as well, by the way. I really appreciate you. Is there a question on your mind so I can get ready to pull something? And I got to tell you, as you did that, honestly, there's so much joy that just went off in my gut to see that dreams do come true, right? I had a dream 5 years ago when I first left the United States to go live in Asia for like a year and a half. I had a dream to monetize YouTube and be able to live abroad with YouTube, okay? So no question, I'm gonna pull a card for you anyways, all right? And you with that donation, right? You are reminding me of what going through these wound heals for me, that I can do something like that. Jasmine, if you have a question, go ahead and drop it, and I'm going to pull a card for you as well. And I want to say thank you tremendously for your efforts, for your donation. It's a vibe, all right? 5 years ago, I set out to do this on YouTube, and it's like only this year did anything monetary begin to actually happen via YouTube. And so I had this tremendous joy in my gut where, in all sincerity, it's like I really love what I do. I'm super passionate about this. Like for me, this is my 5th house stellium. It's like, you know, I'm getting ready to start doing with my YouTube back to where I started doing a little bit in the middle of that 5 years, and making short films that are focused on artistic activism. This is one of the newest passions being born within me. All right, artistic activism through short films by taking times with you know, one of my biggest motivators within this was Spike Lee in the movie we did in Asia, like to get casted in a film and get paid in a film with Spike Lee. It's like, what the and it's coming back and reminding me like, yo, P, you know what? You're here to make your own films. Yes, he was an inspiration. It was an inspiration to be in his film, but you're here to make your own film. Shout out to Jordan Peele, another one of the people inspiring me. The guy that did Get Out, the guy that did Us, the guy that's doing other things. Jordan Peele, the producer, director, he's inspiring me. I just saw a new movie come up with him. It's not out yet, but he's inspiring me. It's like, you know what? I'm going to start making my own movies. I'm going to literally start making short films. I'm going to create my own production company. All right, more like a little bit like Kevin Hart doing his thing. These people are inspiring me. So, Tiffany and Jasmine, stay tuned. Let me finish this message for the group. All right, I want to respect them for being here as well. This is the animal, the companionship that's being asked of us to actually work through more fluidly all the tension and the true issues that we're facing. The bear has a very early consciousness of earth energy. Why? Because after a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber. At first, the movement and effort are difficult. But the bear knows it's time to awaken and move forward, or move towards, the dawning light. The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles. But you have no choice, bear. Somebody needs to breathe. Somebody needs to breathe on here. I don't know who you are, but you need to breathe. Taking my breath away. Winter wanes. The warmth, Leo, Aries, of spring emerges. This is Jupiter in Aries in retrograde. And your transformation begins. If you're out of balance, you're feeling withdrawn, lethargic, and even heavy. So be careful of you pulling other people down. Be mindful of pulling other people down with your lethargia. Go ahead and take that energy and save it for yourself, okay? Don't pull people down. If you're imbalanced, you feel inner strength. All right. The inner strength comes from you not going shallow, you not being shallow. You don't get that castle, you don't get that kingdom, you don't get that inner strength without doing some deep inner emotional healing. So check out, this Sunday begins the 8-week intuition mentorship that I'm running with my partner Eileen, all right? 8 weeks we'll be teaching you astrology and magic and how to go through connection with the guides, how to go through the personal healing, how to go through the application of what your personal gifts are after learning your astrology chart more deeply, after learning magic, which is AKA helping you to free obstacles, the bear obstacles, so that you can actually conclude these old cycles and step into this personal transformation, step into this inner strength of yours. You have, when you're in balance, a yearning to grow. So if you're yearning to grow, especially in the space of astrology or magic, connecting with the guides, healing, all the things I just said, shoot me an email, okay? The descriptions are in the bio, all right? Shoot me an email. If you want to see a little bit about what this looks like on the inside, I'm going to drop this. But do know that we're not running these on Saturdays anymore. We're officially now running these on Sundays. So every day you see in this link I just dropped, it says Saturday, do it for Sunday. I'm not making a new one, all right? Sunday is day 1 of our 8-week mentorship. If you're on my email list, you are getting that early bird extended, so keep that in mind, all right? If you're not on my email list, it's the full price. You'll see that in that link there. To bring into balance, it's the simplest thing, and this is Leo fire energy. This is Jupiter in Aries energy. Right now, the part of fortune is in Aries, so your fortune is in getting physically active. You need fuel to fuel what you're motivated about. You're not going to just get up and be motivated for nothing. You need fuel. Right now, the fuel is exercise. To bring into balance, it says movement and exercise. This could be yoga. This could be walking. This could be physical exercise for 20 minutes. All right. I'm going to get into the polls, and I'm going to remind you quickly. The true issue that we're facing right now is that we're not necessarily going deep enough. We got to go deeper into your inner self. That's why I said when you're in balance, you're feeling your inner strength. The second question was, how do you deal with this intellectually? This is by getting comfortable in your own home, all right? Take some time to be a little bit reclusive. The moon is in Pisces for the next couple of days. Honestly, grab yourself a bottle of wine. Do what Pisces do. Indulge in a little bit of drugs so that you can help yourself go through the surrender. I'm not going to come on here and say, like, this is some medical advice, quite frankly, but it's like, look, I'm not a doctor. I'm not the doctor that is in the human world. On some real talk, I am a soul, a very ancient soul. And it's like, to get through the physical barriers of the human body, I'm going to be real. This is why Pisces is the house of drugs, because it likes to escape. Now, you do need to be mindful, to be careful, all right? I'm not even advising you to do it, but I'm going to tell you. I'm only saying that because I'm in the human world and they want you to say things like that. That's your disclaimer. Otherwise, get yourself a bottle of wine but do something creative with it, okay? Break these physical barriers so that you can sing. Break these physical barriers so that you can create a bracelet, potentially. Break these physical barriers so that you can begin a new project. All right. Who is next? All right. What can be expressed emotionally is recognizing that the third question that I had, I don't remember that question itself, but growth was the card. So this is saying, like, look, like, all you gotta do is start small and be grateful along the way. All you gotta do is actually begin. That's it. What's up, Starlander? 5 Bloods on Netflix, right? Gonna check it out soon. Yeah, man, I was on the 5 Bloods, y'all. Thank you for reminding me. You see the smile on my face? I can't wait to make my own short film. I'm going to do it. I'm going to start doing the planning. On some real talk, I'm about to make my own short film. But I was on the 5 Bloods. Check it out on Netflix. This was right before Chadwick Boseman died. I remember that he was not on the set. Only some people saw him on the set. Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther. Some people saw him. One of my boys actually that was filming the movie. Oh, I got the job. I got this other guy the job. And I just told him, I was like, yo, man. He had his camera with him at this party that we were at that Spike kind of invited us to. He had his camera with him. I was like, yo, man, what are you doing? He's like, what? I was like, go ahead and ask the dude, like, to put you in the movie, dog. I was like, go ahead. And he was like, man, I don't know. I'm a little scared. I was like, I don't give a fuck, man. You know what I told him? I said, grow a sack. I swear to God. I was like, I live in Connecticut. Spike is in New York City, but we're in Thailand right now. We are in the country Thailand, 17 hours away from home on a plane, homie. and you got Spike Lee with you in the same room, and you got your camera, and you are a professional videographer, photographer. I said, grow a motherfucking sack, homie, and ask him. And I stood right by. He goes up with his camera. He's talking to him, scared as shit. I got so many chills right now. You see how much I just livened up? And you know what Spike did? Spike was like, all right, look, man, I want you to go talk to this girl over here. And the girl was his assistant. And then the assistant put her in the calendar. And then she ended up booking him later. And then guess what? That same guy was now filming. He's a Brooklyn native. Yup. 40 acres and a mule. And then now that same girl, she got him an appointment. And guess what? That same guy, I'm gonna leave his name out because, you know, whatever. But shout out to him. I love him for that. I love him for the courage that he just took on that moment. He was scared. He did it scared as hell. He was on that movie set week after week after week. They took him from Thailand to Vietnam to keep filming, from Vietnam back to Thailand on the plane. They were paying for his hotel, and he ended up dating the girl who was Spike Lee's assistant. Okay, this is beast mode. This is what it takes when you just put a little bit of courage, a little bit of boldness, okay, in that first step, and realize it's okay to be afraid, but do it scared anyways. Great things begin to happen. It was huge. This is Leo and Venus, okay, supporting people generously. There's nothing that I've ever asked of this dude who got that job. Never once that I hold it over his head and was like, yo, homie, I got you that job with Spike Lee. You owe me something. This is not how Leo energy works, all right? This is not how Leo energy works. This will get you in a bad situation, in a bad place. Just do things because you're nice. And then you look back in return, now how I'm able to, using these personal stories, these true stories. This is Leo, storytelling, baby. Using these true stories now on a live to be able to talk to you. So definitely check out The Five Bloods. It's on Netflix. I'm in that film. If I use the Chiron and Aries example on this, and I am going to get to Tiffany and Jasmine, so bear with me. I'm going to give you a pulse, but this is important. Chiron and Aries for me. I remember I was dating a girl at this time, and I was so excited about the opportunity, and honestly, she made me feel like it was such a small thing, and I bought that narrative, and it wounded me, and it basically didn't allow me 2-3 years ago to be excited about it. The fact that Delroy Lindo was on set with me. I see Netflix just popped up on my damn as a notification on my damn iPad. This is crazy, y'all. I'm so excited. All right, because this is what the Chiron Aries personal healing on my identity was about. She made me literally feel small. In all sincerity, I allowed her to let me, myself, feel small about something that was so big, about something that was so important. And then the same thing happened with a whole other girl that I dated later in life. And now it's like 3 years now that movie has been out, I believe. Or 2 years. I think 2 years has been out because it took 1 year for them to get it out, right? 2 years this movie been on Netflix. And it's only now that I'm really allowing myself to be so excited and feel the amount of joy and tell the story. Nobody has ever really heard me talk about the story until maybe like a couple days ago, because now it's on my mind. I had a dream and my subconscious mind was reminding me, P, you deserve to be proud of yourself, homie. And that was where I was messing up. I was wanting other people outside of me to be proud for me in order for me, before I was able to be proud about my own efforts, about my own risk, about my own love that I put out into the world, about transmuting the hate into the love. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say thank y'all for actually just indulging and listening to me vent on this message right now, because you just helped me on the other side just by listening to feel like I'm able to go ahead and speak this out. This is 29 degrees of the moon in Aquarius. Until you talk to other people, you're not going to go through the emotional understanding of the cosmic intelligence, of the knowledge of what you're passionate and joyful about. So I want to say thank you to you, all right? All of y'all. All right, here we go. I'm now going to pull cards for Tiffany first. I want to say thank y'all for the message. Let me get my card because I only brought these right here. I got them right here though. 1 second. All right. It's the end of the day. Don't make me hurt you. I don't wanna be that way. does Tiffany need to know? All right, Tiffany. This is a very evolved creature. In the air signs, the peacock is one of the last air signs in this particular deck, which is actually a very evolved and intelligent mind. All right. I like the peacock card a lot. The peacock card is something that reminds me of Leo. Okay. When the peacock opens its feathers, the peacock shines. Natal chart readings. Yes, I absolutely. Yo, man, I tell you, my intuition is on absolute fuego. It's on fuego because I swear to God, I was like, P, get your natal chart reading link ready. And it's ready. I swear to God, my intuition is on fuego. All right. I just dropped the link for you. All right. Thank you for joining the chat. Thank you for asking. I appreciate you. All right, here we go. We got the peacock, right? Oh my God. All right, Tiffany, this is for you. Tiffany, just give me a thumbs up if you're still here. Oh, wait, no, I see you still here. It said he's a Brooklyn native. Yeah, 40 acres and a mule. Okay, here we go, Tiffany. This card is Inner Beauty. It says compassion and the assimilator of anything, okay? Anything. The beauty of the peacock is unrivaled. I think nobody will ever really disagree with that, right? It's one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen. It's easy to think it comes from the plumage when it opens its wings, but no, it doesn't. But the secret to the peacock is that its beauty resides within, and it extends outward. This is the entire Venus and Leo message that I'm trying to tell y'all today, all right? How you transmute dark energy. When the hate come onto you, bring it inwards, okay? Digest that and let yourself shine bright. It's time to shine, baby. It's time to shine, Tiffany. Okay, look at all those yellow flowers on the top of the head. Yellow is like solar plexus chakra, being ambitious right now. And recognizing that the beauty within for me is your ambition that you have for something creative that you value right now. All right. Tiffany, can you help me out? Where is Venus at in your chart? I mean, where's Leo at in your chart? Because I feel like that's what I need to ask right now. So Tiffany, if you're still here, tell me where Venus is at or Leo is at in your chart. But the secret of the peacock is that the beauty resides within and extends outward indefinitely. This adept creature can assimilate or digest. Now, yellow is the symbol of digestion, okay? So I put some yellow agate on here recently. You see the yellows? And it actually helps when it's on the right side with digestion. Now, what makes this important is I had to recognize that I needed to begin to help my Cancer 8th house, where I digest a lot of the emotions and even abilities of others, and I'm able to transform them into abilities of my own. This is one thing, but this also counts the emotions and the unconscious mind of other people that are even on the live. The problem was, it's a lot of you, right? So I used to struggle digesting the intuition or even the emotions or even the unconscious patterns of people as I transmitted these messages. I'm having less of those digestion issues now. Cancer is the stomach, but I begin to help myself with the yellow agate. So I say that because you see the yellow on top. Right now, I want to say, Tiffany, anything yellow, any kind of yellow stones will help you with your Mani Pure and your solar plexus to rebirth the ambition within you, as well as recognizing that the beauty is inside of you, all right, and it always has been. All right, this adept creature can assimilate anything or digest all experiences in life. So it does not harbor resentment, conflict, or past pain within its psyche. This is the South Node of Scorpio. So then now I want you to check where does Scorpio sit in your chart, Tiffany, and you're gonna get the next indication of essentially what's being released while all this Taurus energy is on the opposite. And as we work towards the North Node in Taurus, all right, bringing in essentially, you know, that cosmic feminine energy of what resources you already have. What has your self-esteem revealed? The peacock is extremely rare. The peacock is extremely rare. Not many of us have reached this advanced level of acceptance of self and others. And this is what I told you. The peacock has a very, it's a very evolved consciousness, all right, especially when it comes to its intelligence. So, but I want to also say with its ability to assimilate everything and anything, and its ability to be conscious about what is inwardly beautiful about it. I'm a natal Scorpio, Leo second house. Oh my God, that's that Taurus element. This is why Taurus is activating that second house in your Leo. So now it's about valuing that self-esteem that is so bold, so bright, so big, and ultimately recognizing that you don't need the external validation of nobody, because your inner beauty, if you embrace it with compassion, all right, and you work through the areas of your life that you've harbored resentment or even conflict, especially a past pain within your psyche, this is when you're gonna win. I really recommend some tiger's eye, okay? I have some tiger's eyes on right here, and I recommend some yellow agate or some citrine, okay? So mind you, the left in, right out, the left in of crystals will say something like, this is what you are absorbing. So right now, in the left pocket, I'm absorbing wealth, abundance, okay? My own personal ambitions. Now, if I had this on the right, it's like I'm exuding that, okay? Instead, I'm either, I'm projecting it outwards. So if I had it on my right, it would be me projecting outwards this wealth or something like that. So I recommend some yellow crystals for you, Tiffany, or some tiger eye. All right, I'm gonna move on to Jasmine. All right, if anybody else wants to donate, it's a good time to donate, and I will pull a card for you and transmit a message. When you're out of balance, you can't digest situations. Tiffany, when you are out of balance, you can't digest situations. The question is, are there any situations that you cannot digest right now? That means you're out of balance. When you're in balance, you're confident and kind or generous. This is Leo. This is Leo, 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 Leo. It's Leo. Venus and Leo, baby. That was your message. Oh yeah, I know, I got it, baby, I got it. I'm here, I was with you, I'm listening, okay? I heard you. Tiffany, it's time to fly. Now. They were like, no, tell her again, now. All right? To bring into balance, I want you to meditate on the navel. Again, your Mani Pura, the city of hidden gems. You're done, I'm done. All right. Jasmine, let me know you're still in the chat. If no one else wants a card or pulled, all right, if no one else donates in the next, after this, actually within the next 60 seconds, I'm gonna close it off for today, and I'm gonna do this on a different day and get to my next task. If you do donate, I will pull a card for you. God damn, Jasmine, okay. Jasmine, you got the Scorpion. Jasmine, I've been already feeling this. Actually, Jasmine, this is coming up for you a lot because we had our live. So check her live, y'all. Thank you, I see you're here. I don't want to get lost in it, but Jasmine, I know you have the ability to drop links. Can you copy and paste the title of the live you and I did? I think with the Mercury in Virgo, and then copy and paste the YouTube link here. So y'all can see Jasmine, all right, in real life, in real person. She came out here and gave y'all practical tips on how to work through this Virgo energy, all right? And I know she's going through transformation. So I know a little bit more on the back end of why this card is here for you. So Jasmine, if you can do that and just drop that link and stuff, I would really appreciate it. And definitely check out her channel, check out her YouTube. Thank you. So we have the Scorpion for you, Jasmine, all right? The first thing that this tells me, all right, is Scorpio is it's Scorpion. The Scorpion is a very career-orientated sign. It's tremendously passionate. Look at the fire already, right? So the thing that blocks the Scorpion the most is when it festers on a situation that left it feeling burned. So the first question I have for you off the rip, Jasmine, is what is the first instinctual, because this is instinct, right? What is the first instinctual message that you get when I say, what has left you feeling burned? What has left you feeling burned? That's where you first go, Jazz. This is where the message is first going. Something has left you feeling burned. If you give me that instinctual answer, and you don't have to, you can text me about this. You don't have to put it on the live, but it would help while I'm in transmission mode, because right now I got a very clear channel. I got the copper on my feminine. This is on my Pisces. Copper really helps with the feminine energies. All right, for the intuition to pull up. Because after this, I'm taking it off. I'm turning my channels off. All right. Now, the Scorpion is, again, not the earliest of consciousness as a fire sign. This triangle up top is fire. All right. For this Venus and Leo message. But it is one of the earlier consciousness, past relationships. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. All right. Mercury enters Virgo. It still is in Virgo right now, so this message is still valid. Anybody go check that next. Past relationships have left you feeling burned. All right. So the Scorpion has a earlier fiery consciousness, all right, which means that it could be a little bit too quick to sting sometimes. So be mindful, right? The Scorpion is passionate, competitive. This is Leo and Leo. Jasmine, where does your Leo's placement sit? If you feel comfortable, you can drop it. All right. And the Scorpion tends towards isolation, right? It tends towards isolation. So there are days, times, moments where isolating is very healthy. And we got the card already where, like, to digest the intelligence that's trying to come through for you, you should take some isolation. But it's important to recognize when you isolate yourself too much because of these past relationship hurts that have left you feeling burned. Leo in the 12th. Somebody has not appreciated you. All right, so Jasmine, this is one of the things where, like, you do so much in these past relationships. And the person that you used to do so much for, or even all of them, because it likely is a subconscious behavioral pattern with the 12th house, something. All right, I want you to do this. All right, I'm going to stop this for a moment. Jasmine, I want you to do this. I want you to, in your next meditation, I want you to do a little breath prior, okay? Add some sound. Open up that connection for yourself. Then I want you to meditate, and I want you to call the Earth Dragon. I'm going to type it so you can't forget. Earth Dragon. All right. Now here's why. The Earth Dragon, the original ley lines were dragon lines. All right. And it turned into ley lines to our more modern understanding of what these ley lines were about. So underneath the surface of the things that we walk on, the pavement, the grass, the soil, there are these lines. Now, these lines are able, if we call the Earth Dragon, to remove blockages, especially in the subconscious, or especially in things that are already stuck and grounded in something that's just not true. Now, part of what this is that maybe a subconscious mindset that you don't deserve to be loved in a way where you have so much attention, you have so much praise for the ways in which you're able to reduce the suffering of your partners. And they didn't recognize, excuse me, I'm getting choked up. It's not on you. It's not your fault that they didn't recognize how much you should have been appreciated. It's not your fault that they did not recognize how much you should have been appreciated. As a Virgo rising, I know you have the ability to serve and recognize all the smallest little minute details that your partner would always skip. And they took you for granted, and they probably took advantage. But it's important to know that this couldn't energetically happen as long as you address the subconscious patterns that you have received, the karma that you've been given, aka the karma you gave yourself. 12th house is karma. So you gave yourself the karma of not necessarily being seen as externally and explosively and passionately as you deserve, because you do deserve it. So the question is then, what was the karma about? Why did you give yourself this karma to not be seen publicly, to not be loved with passion and grace and love and generosity, okay? And being touched and feeling the reciprocation of the warmth, excuse me, of Leo, the warmth that you give out to others. The Scorpion is a passionate and determined creature. Their career is very important to them, as are a select few friends. Sometimes the Scorpion's heat festers. They focus on an unresolved event from the past. 12th house. The karma is trying to close, Jasmine. It's trying to close the loop, and you have the power to do it, especially in this Leo season. Why? Because the sun is in Leo, so you have the power right now. You have the power, Jasmine. I feel like I need to just like But you gotta take that shit, Jazz. You have to take the power right now. It's not going to be given to you. Honestly, it's not. You must take that power. You must explore that inner beauty. You must evolve. In what ways do you love yourself? It's not going to do it for you. Usually there's a situation where you are left feeling burned. The Scorpion card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usual fiery but fun self. Venus and Leo is bringing the joy, is bringing the fun, is bringing the play, baby. All right? It's bringing the fun, it's bringing the love, it's bringing the joy, it's bringing the passion, it's bringing the play, baby. So don't skip this cycle. Don't skip this cycle. It's time to shine light on that. I'm almost feeling like a certain sadness in my gut right now because it's time. It's time, baby girl. All right? When you're out of balance, you're feeling jealous, resentful, or unresolved. Bring yourself back into balance. How do you bring yourself into balance? You focus on honesty. And what I'm getting right now is emotional honesty and even creative honesty. You might even have to be creative in the way that you're being honest with yourself, all right? Like, it's kind of one of the things where, like, you can't just say, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. But if you're not being honest about the fact that you love yourself, it won't work, all right? Like, the thing about mantras and affirmations is you have to believe it. But also how to bring this into balance is forgiveness. So, Ho'oponopono, all right? Thank you. This is to yourself. Please forgive me. I love you. I'm sorry. When you're in balance, you feel wild, free, and fierce. Jazz, that's your message. When you're in balance, you feel wild, free, and fierce. Okay, I hope that helped. I see somebody else donated in the meanwhile. Sugi, I wish I knew how to pronounce that properly. I'm sorry if I'm killing you. Sugi, I want to say thank you for your donation. Everybody else, thank you for the votes. All right, it's a vibe. I see 19 votes came in. Wow, I'm impressed. Most of us are transmuting hate into love, and this is how we do it. All right, this is how we transmute the dark into light. Sug, do you have a question that you have on your mind or on your heart? Okay, do you have something that your soul is craving? If you give me a direction, or at bare minimum, if you share where your Leo placement is at, I can help you with how will Venus and Leo support this. All right, Jasmine, thank you. I love you, girl. I really, really do. Okay, I'm on standby watching this great success. I'm watching this Leo as success. Sug, in the meanwhile, I'm gonna get ready to pull a card. But go ahead and ask something. If there's something specific that's on mind, I really want to say that's on your heart, quite frankly. I really want to say that's on your heart. Oh man, there's so much love coming in today. Even like not on this live, like I'm seeing emails, WhatsApp messages. I'm like, yo, people coming out the woodworks. People coming out the woodworks. I even got somebody send me a message that I know we ain't talking in a while, and there was some foolery going on prior. So man, I tell you, this retrograde in Aries is here. It's here, baby. All right. If people did you wrong, they know it. All right. You see what I'm saying? If people did you wrong, they know it. But people who are doing you right, they also know it. So make sure you don't punish nobody. All right. So here we go. Suji. Thank you. Suji. Okay. Suji. Suji. Yeah. No specific question. Just no luck with love and Leo in the 7th as an Aries sun. If you have Leo in the 7th, and you have an Aries sun, your sun is likely 3rd or 11th house. I think 3rd. Can you just tell me where your sun is at? I think it would be 3rd or 11th. Stop. All right. The birds chirping so beautifully. Yeah, they are. 2nd house Aries. Okay, so it would have been 3rd, but 2nd because probably some transits shifted. All right. Okay. Thank you. I got you. Jesus. All right. I bet that card's going to want to come out later. Asuji. What we got for Asuji? Does Asuji need the low? Something around Leo 7th house, Aries in the 2nd, while this Aries and Leo energy is in the sky. Please bless them with your guidance. And you know I love you, Annies. You know I love you. You know you're my favorite deck, right? You know you're my favorite deck. You know we get along the best. Ooh, okay. I smell it. We got it's something keeps coming on repeat, but it's like it's a little it wants to bang. All right, Asuji, let me take a sip of water. Let's do this because this is one of the most divine cards in the deck. All right, literally, it represents the divine. You see the circle at the top. But why I like this one is it's 2 circles, but it's really 3, right? Honestly, you can interpret so many circles with this. You have one here, you have the snake, and you have the eye in the middle. I guess you can also count this as 4. This is about emotional stability coming up. I'm going to take it as 4, but I'm going to take it as a main principle 3. First off, when you get the circle, before I even get into the card of the sea serpent, it already is saying that the reasons that Aquarius risings, the reason that you're not having much luck in the love department with the Leo 7th off the rip is because this is on some real talk. This is divinity not allowing it yet because you have to value yourself more in relationships. Because the Aries is in the 2nd house and it's in the sun. The Aries is exalted in the sun. All right. I don't know what degree you have in that, but side note, nobody else donate today. This is the last one I'm doing. Don't donate. If you donate after this, I'm gonna have to just put your reading on pause for the next day. All right, so I'm just saying it out loud right now. Nobody else donate. Unless you want to just for the funk of it, I'm not gonna say no to that. But I'm not pulling any cards left. This is the last message for today. And I do thank everybody else for just indulging and involving themselves in this process. And I mostly think because for Asuji, this is gonna be too big of a message. After this, I'm gonna be done. All right, energetically, I'm gonna be done. Channels are closing. I said I'm closing it after this one. All right, here we go. Cause this is big. This is really big. All right, you got the card of spirit. So what it says is like off the rip, the things that are going on and happening in your love life and why the boundaries have been implemented or you have not necessarily had any luck in this space of love. First off, as an Aquarius rising, you have to already start focusing more on friendship. For starters, focus less on love, focus more on friendship. Don't fall into the shadow of the 7th house in Leo. Leo, 7th house is a shadow, right? 7th house is the shadow of yourself. And off the rip, what I'm already getting is you got to be more honest with yourself emotionally about what you want from a partner. And that's just a start. In order to do that, you have to work with your Aries sun in this retrograde and really take a look back at the beliefs that you maybe moved too, the areas that you've moved too fast as a part of who you are and a part of what you have. You approach your own self-esteem and even the healing you go through too quickly, okay? too quickly. It's time to slow that down and go deeper, for starters, especially emotionally. And Aquarius rising, not a very emotional symbol, right? Aries, Aries is emotional, but not necessarily, it's emotional in a creative standpoint. Like, it's very creative and it values that creativity, which is involved with its instinct, its emotion, and its passion, but it's not thought out very far. Like, it's not, what's that, 25 degrees? 25. All right, you have to talk. You're really evolved Aries, actually, but you have to speak and communicate what you value in your relationships more. All right, what's up, Lulu? You must do it more. In order for you to activate this Sea Serpent card, here's what it says. It says that you're working with emotional healing wounds. You're emotionally healing your wounds. And you are now having to begin to express your desires. Scorpio is in Mars. Aries is also in Mars. Masculine energy of expressing your desires, okay, Aries. Your Mars placement will be another indication, but that will go too deep right now. That's like really, I saw you say you were thinking about an AstroTherapy session. That would be more like into that. To stick to this now, the Sea Serpent represents the energy of expression, right? Whether it's emotions, creativity, or sensuality, or the desire, the Sea Serpent helps us move and direct our energy into healthy currents. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually. Second house could be sex and what you value about sex. Leo in the 7th house will show a shadow aspect about yourself around certain non-committal sexual engagements and interactions. And I gave that heads up and warning early in this message today and in my last live that I did. You must be very mindful about what you truly value as for your sexual desires or even your romantic desires, all right? But there's something to address, and it's coming up right now. There's something to address specifically. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. That's the key right there. You must express without fear or shame. And I as an Aries myself, went through both fear and shame because it's hard to be an Aries while Neptune is in Pisces. I'm not going to lie to you. The rest of the world is just not ready to let go of their illusions yet. And Aries is the first to see it. So until 2025 and after that, we face a tremendous amount of shame, but it's not because of anything other than we're allowing people as Aries to convince us that we're not as great as we really, really are. But watch 2025 and after that, Neptune will go into Aries and all those illusions and all the shrouds and the clouds will fade and you will be on top. That's my promise. So right now you must go through the emotional healing and begin to express your desires, Asuji. Our hearts are at ease when our relationships are meaningful and enduring. And that's the key. Aquarius rising, they must have meaningful relationships, which is why it has to be involved with more friendship. If you're having trouble in the love department, it's more about the friendship, all right? They must be meaningful and enduring. Aquarius is traditionally ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the most enduring planet in our solar system, right? It literally represents time. So stop looking at it as, you know, you have to get a relationship by next year or by 2 years from now or 5 years from now. Look at it, put yourself in a more timeless position with your love life and stop looking, okay? Stop looking altogether and that's when it will hit you. We loosen the grip after finding those meaningful relationships, enduring relationships. We loosen self-judgment. I'm getting really dizzy with this one. Ooh, this is getting heavy. I knew this was my last one today. This is getting heavy. We loosen the grip of self-judgment when we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy of the Sea Serpent is not yet activated, our emotions and creativity, both Aryan things, its creativity is linked to its emotions, are left in the muddy waters. This is Scorpio and the South Node. So you should then check where Scorpio is at because that's the muddy water for you. I think you'll offer those likes up, by the way, those thumbs up. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our lives. And in other areas, it floods. So this is why we got to bring back the emotional balance, because otherwise your creativity is blocked. And as long as your creativity is blocked, you won't be able to, creativity is Leo, right? At its height, at its most unique expression. And that's your relationships, right? That's what it's going to take for you to get to the marriage, if you will, of where your romance starts and goes to eventually. So it's like, until you address the emotional wounds and go through the healing and express your true desires and forgive where you felt shamed. And this is about you. This is not about the next person. I hope you understand that very clear with this message. This has nothing to do with somebody outside of you. This is about the shame you felt and the fear you felt about how you creatively express yourself, especially in the bed, especially privately in sexual endeavors, all right? Don't be afraid anymore. Express your desires, your true desires. If you don't like something, do not let somebody do something to you. If you don't like, if somebody else don't like something, don't do something that they don't like either. Be more communicative of your sexual desires and expressions. Because sex, when I say sexual, I am talking also sacral chakra energy, right? I'm talking where the creative center is at. This is the swadhisthana. So I'm not just talking about the physical act of pounding and having sex. I'm talking about utilizing your sexual and your creative energy wisely, which might actually mean the exact opposite of hold your nut. I don't know if you're a guy. If you're a guy, I'm going to tell you to hold your nut. If you're a female, I'm going to tell you to start breathing more and work. If you're a female, I'm going to tell you to work your intuition from the top and do breath work to bring it and connect with it down in the sacral. But if you're a male, I'm going to say hold your nut. Even if you have sex, don't nut. Even if you masturbate, don't nut. Hold it a couple times. Practice holding it, okay? So you can utilize that at a divine way, right? In a more divine way rather than a quick, non-committal way. This is why the endurance was invited. And the meaningfulness of the relationships. This is like using your sexual energy. Relationship is the sacral chakra. Utilizing your relationships in a more meaningful way. It's important to remember, no matter what the waters of our emotional lives look like, the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps us around herself as a gesture of protection. The wrap, look at the snake biting itself. This is Ouroboros, all right? These are cycles finally coming to a close. You have a chance to hop through a window right now. You have a chance to go through this window of opportunity to close this cycle out, all right? The mother supports us as we learn to express our true natures. Oh my God, look at that. I forgot this is the second chakra. Yeah, I'm on point, yo. I'm telling you, intuition's on fuego. The sea serpent is the second chakra. The subtle energy of the sea serpent occupies the area of the Swadhisthana chakra, located deep within our pelvic bone, all right? This chakra is known as our center of creativity and desire. This is everything. Venus entering Leo, you have a grand opportunity. This is your window, Asuji. This chakra is known as our creative center and desire, and is associated with the water element, which is interesting. So this is bringing us to Pisces. But the healing that you've done while Venus was in Cancer, which just passed, which is still kind of operating behind the scenes. Swadhisthana translates to in her own abode. Cancer, home. Abode is home. Indicating this chakra is the home of the Divine Mother or Kundalini itself. So ultimately what I'm getting for you, Asuji, is I'm getting that if you don't begin to express your needs, your wants, and your desires, you're going to get sick. I'm telling you right now, there's some physical manifestation of an illness or a sickness that's going to manifest if you don't start talking about these more shameful moments of your life, potentially in how you've used your creative and sexual energy, of where you have fear to express certain things about what you value, desire, want, or need at the basic human instinct level. If you don't do it, you're going to begin to get sick. Any meditation recommendations? Yes. Honestly, I don't want to get lost in it, So what I'm going to say is shoot me an email and I'll find some, or you can just type Pernell Bobby meditation, because I got to learn to stop. I used to, if I had an assistant that could be like on here finding videos for me, it would be great. Just type in Pernell Bobby meditation. And I think I had one on there about sexual energy, actually. Let me try to find. That would be my meditation recommendation. I have a bunch of meditation videos on there. I did a whole 7-day series for everybody in here. All right. I did a 7-day meditation series. It's free. I mean, it's just on my YouTube. Like, you can literally meditate for 7 days. It'll change your life. Change my life. I actually did this in a very tough stage of my life, where I was getting played. All right, so I have one that says 30-minute guided monk meditation for self-empowerment and discovery. This is possible. This is actually the rain technique. All right, it's a rain meditation technique. Honestly, just type in Pernell Bobby meditation. I'm looking at a bunch. There's one that says day 2, stop being hypercritical meditation. There's a group meditation that I did with people that's on here. I'm just looking at a couple. There's movement meditations that I have where you don't have to sit and go kumbaya. You can actually go through some movement. Sleep meditation, day 3 was a let go of attachment meditation. I'm trying to find the one that works. Self-worth meditation, guided, 20 minutes. This one might do. Or feeling overwhelmed is day 4. So yeah, I would just type, honestly, and figure out the one that works best for you. There's a 1, 2, 3, there's a day 1 through 7 meditation on here. Psychic attacks or panic attack meditation. This is one of them, all right? I got the Ho'oponopono meditation on here, a forgiveness ritual. Jasmine, that's probably more for you. That's day 5. So this is just a whole series I did, but thank you for reminding me. I might try to put this in an email list and do it with people as a group. For now, thank you all. I want to say I love you. Self-worth is definitely it. I had a feeling. That's the one I stopped at for you. All right, here we go. I'm going to make this simple for you. I'm going to go here. I'm going to copy and paste it for you now so you don't even have to look. Thank you all for your donations. Like I said, these things for me go towards Canva. They go towards Zoom to be able to host my AstroTherapy sessions with people, as well as my free events, right? Like, in order to actually do therapy session with people, I use Zoom as part of it. This goes to me buying things like plants or even crystals for myself to just better protect myself on this world stage. Because, Lord, I had to start really understanding that everybody does not want to see you win, all right? But also to not give too much energy to it, to learn to transmute the hate, all right? So, Jazz, I'm going to drop you the Ho'oponopono one in here too. So right now, here I go. This is 1. All right, that's the day 5. And then Jazz, we had the Ho'oponopono one. Right here. Oh yeah, I remember the Ho'oponopono one. I like this day 5 one a lot. This forgiveness ritual, I really recommend it for a lot of people. I remember being in a very high state. I was in a very, I was mad tuned in. On the self-worth one, I had a little bit of distraction. I think I was getting bit by bugs and it was bothering the hell out of me, if I remember properly. But this day 5 one, I think it's why I did it in the house, so that I can have all my peace. All right, that's the day 5. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for your patience, your time, your energy. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your support. Thank you for allowing me to vent for myself around just these creative suppressions for myself, and further understanding why I had to go through very painful experiences around looking for validation outside of myself, which is where we're out of our balance with Leo and Venus, or even Leo season, rather than focus on the inner beauty. So thank you, Tiffany, for allowing me to pull that peacock card, because it reminded me of the inner beauty, all right, and how it can assimilate everything and digest everything, all right? So that was major for me. That card really spoke to me, the peacock today, all right? To look at things from an intellectual standpoint in an advanced manner and realize that we have the ability to digest, but we also can use certain things and tools to progress this. I'm going to tap us out here. with a quick little listen to the birds in the background. Release the tension in your jaw. Release the tension in your teeth. Good. Drop the weight from your shoulders. And know that Venus in Leo is a season of play, joy, fun, and being lighthearted about things. But that does not mean don't go deep. It just means that you are the light. And no one outside of you has control over your personal power, over your willpower, over your ambitions, over your joy, over your warmth. Restore the power. Restore yourself. Love yourself as you forgive yourself. Ciao.